Have you ever heard of aneurysms? Weakened blood vessels. Have you ever heard of atherosclerotic plaquing? Plaquing in the arteries. Have you ever heard of cholesterol is clogging your arteries? Okay, let's find out what that really is. Because is it bullshit or is it true? Or what's happening? What causes it? Because doctors will say, oh yeah, you're at risk of an aneurysm, or you have an aneurysm, or you have clogging in the arteries, or you have this or that. Well, if you want to be a detective, why? Why does it clog arteries? Why not veins? What's the difference? So this is a couple of really good articles that explain where the plaquing and the weakening in the arteries come from and why the arteries are involved and not the veins. So let's look at this. This is an artery. Now, arteries are different. Arteries have a muscular layer in the middle. That's because they can close off and they can open up, they can constrict and dilate. So if you're in a stressed state, the blood vessels to the gut are going to constrict. It's going to shut this down. If you're in a relaxed, wonderful state, that's called parasympathetic, rest, digest, and repair, then these blood vessels are going to open up. So when I talk to every patient, I say, how did you sleep? Because if you slept good, that's rest, digest, and repair. It means the digestive tract can build neurotransmitters. It can regenerate healthy tissue. But if you're in a stress state, these arteries are going to constrict, shutting blood supply down to the gut. Okay, so but what happens is a muscle is in the artery, and that actually closes and opens. So that muscle needs blood supply. And there actually is. See, the way doctors work it, we speak everything in Latin. Now, everybody here speaks at least 2 or 3 different languages. Thai, Karen, English, a bunch of languages. You don't speak Latin because that's what doctors speak. And so if I was going to say, yeah, the blood vessels are the blood vessels, you'd say, well, yeah, that makes sense. But I say it in Latin or vasa vasorum. Okay, so all the doctor terms are Latin, so you think they're smarter, but they're really not. So the blood vessels that supply the blood vessels, if those get compromised or choked off, then the artery weakens. Now, these arteries are under a huge amount of pressure. And if you damage the artery in your leg, if this get cut, you're dead in around 4 to 5 minutes. You damage the artery in your abdomen area, the big artery that comes down here, if that breaks, you're dead in around 35, 40 seconds. So there's sensors on these arteries that tell you if the arterial wall is damaged. And then instantly, the body is so smart, it runs in there, because if you damage these arteries, then the arterial wall gets weak. And so the body's going to protect it. It goes in there with calcium, fibrin, and cholesterol. And that lines up and protects it. Now, when we look at the regular artery, we have an outer layer, we have the muscular layer, and we have an inner layer called endothelial. The plaquing occurs underneath that endothelial layer. That's where plaquing in the artery occurs. And what's interesting, so it's not in the space here. So that plaquing in the artery is actually protecting the artery. So now a detective is going to say, well, what damages the vasa vasorum? What damages the blood vessels? What causes that artery to get weak? Or what causes it to get stronger? Okay? So you take someone scared and have them play 4 hours of pickleball. So toxic fats, toxic food damage these little arteries. So if you have a diet high in processed oils like seed oils, corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, okay, all the toxic oils, those are literally going to damage these arteries and weaken that wall. So the body is going to elevate cholesterol. It's going to pack this and protect that artery with calcium, cholesterol, and fibrin. So cholesterol doesn't clog arteries. It actually is part of the rebuilding process. Now, is all this stuff alive? Yes. So how do you repair the arteries? Well, first, you have to have a nutrient-rich diet. This means no processed foods or packaged foods. In fact, yesterday we had a class on fermenting our own vegetables. Was that fun? I know. I woke up this morning and some of them are already bubbling. So, that means the bacteria is growing in there. So, fermented foods, nutrient-rich foods, but healthy fats, no toxic fats. And then the body will clean these arteries and it won't require this plaquing. And we can literally see plaquing on the x-rays get less and less and less and go away. So the plaquing can be removed. And if you're curious, look at Linus Pauling's work. This is a guy who 50 years ago, 60 years ago, discovered vitamin C, 2 Nobel Prizes. He worked out how to clean the arteries using vitamin C and L-lysine. We suggest don't poison yourself, stop the toxic oils, and do juicing and blending. And the juicing, we recommend apples, carrots, beets, and celery. Apples have malic acid, those clean the kidneys, that's a blood filter. Carrots clean the lungs because that turns into beta carotene. Beets help the liver, celery is good for minerals. But no matter what you do, your arteries are alive. Now, how do you get this artery stronger? Well, it has blood in it. And the more you work the body, the more it generates new blood vessels. That's right. The blood vessels of the blood vessels, the vasa vasorum, can be regenerated. It's called angiogenesis. Angio means blood vessel. So anytime you work out, if you want strong arteries, you elevate your heart rate, you run, you play pickleball or work out or adjust a few hundred people. Okay, you lift weights, you go for a walk in the heat. Okay, you hydrate, you get natural foods. And by increasing the pressure, you increase the strength of the arteries. Could it be that easy? The plaquing of the arteries can go, the arteries can be strong. You have to have a healthy, nutrient-rich diet, healthy fats, no poison fats, and then your body can live healthy. How do we know that? Your great-grandmother died way over 90 years old, okay? Did she have a lot of good medications? Oh, she had none. Did she have packaged food? None. Did she walk every day? Yeah, that's all they had. She walked or had a horse or a cart or something. Okay, so living within your design parameters, your body will get healthy. So find the problem, correct it, look at physical, chemical, emotional stress, sleep good, eat right, and have your arteries checked and have your blood checked. Because if you see the blood is healthy, then the blood that supplies the blood vessels will be healthy. Does that make sense? Okay, any question? Okay, God bless you, crop and crop. Thank you very much.